Hey everybody, welcome to the Palz podcast.
Welcome to the finest podcast on the internet.
It's the episode 17 special. I think it's episode 17.
It's episode 2.
It's episode 2. This is the second one.
We decided to scrap everything off the channel except for the first episode and start over.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we weren't satisfied enough, and that's the whole thing.
None of them were canon.
Nah. I remember I was actually recently listening through some older episodes, and I think said something like, "Oh, when an artist is like, it's like you make all this work, and it's like, oh, it doesn't look as good as you want it, so you throw it all away, haha."
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. I just fucking be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I have to stand by a deadline here to be professional.
That's the life. That is the real life.
Like my comic that I recently released is like, yeah, I know it's not perfect and probably could have changed a lot of stuff. But you see, if I did that, then I waste a fuckload of time and have nothing to put out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta be like, well, I gotta put out something to show, so I have something to show for myself. And just hope that I can do better on the next one.
It's got a point there.
Yeah.
This podcast...
I'm rectifying old things I used to say. Wow.
This is where we're gonna rectify all our statements. One statement, what's no statement? Our teacher was not a pedophile. Just kidding, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, KO is...
Great cartoon.
Who cares? It's
a great cartoon.
It's a waste of breath to complain about.
Damn. Oh, man. Complaining. Let me talk about complaining, Kumbel.
What do you want to say about complaining?
I want to say that The Great Mouse Detective is fucking better than all of Disney's 90s bullshit. Lion King, miss me with that shit. Aladdin, fuck you. All you fucking just stole it from Japanese cartoons. The Great Mouse Detective.
They did do that.
Yeah, The Great Mouse Detective was stolen from anything except Sherlock Holmes and also the book called The Great Mouse Detective. So
I think okay, legit. This is some childhood story thing.
Yeah.
A movie I'd always wanted to rent. I kept being like, I want this movie. Rent it, please. Is Sword in the Stone.
Oh yeah, that one. Oh man, the boy.
I'm sorry about that burp. I'm kind of
disgusting. Cool. Let's talk about our shit. Sorry about our shit income.
No, hold on. I still have something to say about the Sword in the Stone. This was back when we had a fucking place where you could rent videos and shit.
Yeah.
That's how old we are. Except we were on the we were around the time, when we were kids that existed. But when we got a little older, that just fucking shut down.
Yeah.
It was a great place called GVG.
Yeah, it was called GVG, motherfucker.
Yeah, and you know what's so fucking awesome about that place? Is not only could you buy movies and video games, you could have LAN parties.
Yeah, there was a little internet cafe in the back.
Yeah, no, you just pay 100 crowns and you could play fucking Garry's Mod and Counter-Strike on one of the computers for like an hour or two.
That's a good transition to a thing I wanted to talk about, which is when, for some reason, we did work experience programs or like internship shit.
Oh yeah,
when
it's like
we were 11 years old.
Yeah, the thing where it's like you try out jobs when you're a school kid.
Yeah.
I think you have something like that in America too.
Yeah.
I think I saw something like that on Hey Arnold when I was a kid.
Yeah,
this one with the ice cream man.
Oh yeah, Hey Arnold, the classic documentary. So
that's my experience of the American lifestyle when I was a young lad.
Yeah.
Hey Arnold.
Okay, so I actually had my internship at the fucking video store called GVG, and it was the fucking shit. It was in 2009. I was 11, and it was right when nobody gave a fuck ever, and so it mostly consisted of me putting shit on shelves and just doing nothing, and like what was it, like taking out old candy, and I found one piece of candy that was 4 months out of date at the bottom. And half of the time we were just sitting in the back room and they were like, hey, do you want this old candy? And I was like, yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, I'm a kid.
Yeah. And during the break I played that one Super Mario Brothers browser game where you can make levels for yourself.
Oh yeah, are you talking about Mario what was it called? It was kind of like Mario 64, but a side-scroller. It also had like Mario Sunshine elements to it.
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
That's the one I played a lot.
I'm thinking of the one that emulated the exact style of Super Mario Bros. From Super Mario All-Stars. That exact thing.
Oh,
well, but shittier. And I played that in their fucking LAN computers. And when the internship was done, They were like, oh yeah, we gotta give you some shit. So they gave me, what was it, a few expired bags of chips, and I had to choose 2 DVDs that were like in the used DVDs thing, and the 2 DVDs I chose were Year One, the hilarious Stone Age comedy about fucking Michael Cera and Jack Black being hilarious. Nobody remembers this movie. Not a single. Literally, if you ask fucking anybody, ask Michael Cera and Jack Black who were in it, they literally don't remember it. Okay.
They will probably be a little denying about it too.
No, it didn't happen. So
exactly, that's what they say.
That was the first movie I chose. Second movie was This Is It by Michael Jackson. The final concert film he did, where he was like, oh, I'm dying. It was, yeah. I still have those 2 DVDs.
Didn't you also pick up like Hobo with a Shotgun from that place?
No, I got that one from the place that replaced that video store. One was called Hemmakväll, although it would be called, what would it be called? Fucking Night at Home.
Yeah, basically something like that.
It's a weird video store that...
Video rental store, DVDs and all that we only have one left. Actually, we have 2 of those stores, but one is strictly just a candy store.
Oh yeah. They had a weird transition where it went from, the video store, where I never bought candy from that place when it was a video store, because I was like, why would I buy candy from this place? And then it transitioned just into a fucking candy store, and I don't know, it's bizarre.
Yeah, and there's one of them where you still can get movies.
Yeah, I got my fucking Twin Peaks shit from that one.
Really?
They don't stock that much good shit, I must say. But they don't stock enough anime. I need more. I'm gonna. It feels like a weird thing to request because they must be dying. There's no way they can stay afloat. So
this is basically Sweden's Blockbuster.
Yeah.
If anything.
Yeah, and I don't know, it feels weird to go up to him. It would be like going up to a starving man and being like, make me macaroni! And it's like, no.
Well, I can talk about my experience that I had entering. Okay, the first one I did, I think that was around the time where you were doing the DVD stuff. I think I was, it was like a grocery store.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah.
Great meme.
Yeah, not much I can say about that one.
Yeah.
It's just a grocery store. And the second one, which was actually way cooler, was the record store.
Oh yeah.
Record and like book store.
Yeah.
Where they also sold like graphic novels and comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a record, music, and just a bunch of shit like that.
Yeah. Bullshit.
And yeah, I worked there with a buddy that we also know. We mentioned him, Christopher.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a lot of fun. We had this running joke for some fucking reason. There was this one guy who was a bit of a janitor, and when we were working in like the kind of like the storage part of the mall that was in, where we were like, I don't know, crush boxes and stuff like that. That guy was only down there, it seemed. Yeah. So after we went up, I would just like do this joke where it's just like, Christopher, he doesn't exist. He's not real. Yeah. And he'd be like, no. He's real. He's my friend. It's like, I'm sorry, Christopher, he's a ghost.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. It feels very, very much like a joke we heard on this podcast. Oh.
This is why we say he's a cool bro. He's got a weird sense of humor in a way.
Yeah. The thing I did for my second fucking thing was working at a grocery store called Ika. And the funny thing is, we did 2 of these internships in 2 years. We did one in 2013, one in 2014. And both of them, I did Ika, because the first time I was like, wow, this is so much fun, because I just got to do random shit. And then for a second, it was like back-breaking labor, where I literally had to go for 8 hours every day, and like bike my way there at like 6 a.m., and it was the worst fucking thing ever, and I wanted to kill myself.
Oh, that was nothing compared to what second-hand store I would do. In that thing, I didn't mention this, but we unloaded, we had like these trucks that would come in from like, I don't know, like some other country in Europe. Basically, we traded like second-hand things. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, just this whole truck full of, cardboard boxes of, be it like kitchenware, and then in the very back you had the fucking couches that we had to fucking lift and shit. Yeah, so don't talk to me about back-breaking labor, my boy.
Of course.
Another thing about the record store I worked in, it was a lot of fun because you kind of got to choose what music that would play in the thing, and I found the Gorillaz compilation thing. Oh. It was back when I was really into Gorilla, so I played that.
That's cool.
And also, do you know what I also found?
What?
I found the Riot Rock City record.
Oh yeah, that one.
In the back, and I'm so fucking mad that I probably could have, if I asked, they probably would have given it to me.
Yeah.
But I was so mad that I didn't get it. But I did get the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Oh yeah.
On vinyl.
Yeah.
The soundtrack. So I have that at least from that whole thing.
I honestly feel like if I at some point was without a job, I could probably get a job at that record store because of how
100% could.
Yeah, because of how stupefyingly frequently I go there. Like they know me so well there.
Yeah, they probably know the fact in that case that you know a lot about records.
Yeah.
So you probably could. Yeah, you just send an application and you'd probably be good.
Possibly, yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I wanna. Okay, this is a big thing actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell something. This is a literal like. There's not many of these. Most people don't have these. I have a secret that I'm going to tell.
Oh.
I don't know if it's a secret to Kumbo, but it's a secret I've literally had to keep for 5 years because of like things like because of circumstances. So let me tell you about what happened in late 2014 after I dropped out of high school. So okay, so to give some context, I don't know if I ever told the full story of this. So during 2014. In the last school year, in 9th grade, I don't know what the grades are in America. You guys are fucking stupid.
Basically, last year of junior high school.
Oh, yeah. And I fucking hated it. I wanted to kill myself. And after that, I was like, okay, we're going to high school now. But you get to pick like a whole like course thing. You get
we
to
have
like
this thing like our high school is something called gymnasium.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is basically you pick like a main course that you get to study. It's a little bit of a mix of high school and college.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Where you got your main thing that you study. For example, I studied aesthetic design.
Yeah.
And like art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I also learned about, the other things like history and math and all that stuff that you normally would learn.
Exactly.
Basically, yeah. So that's basically a Swedish high school in a way.
I decided I wanted to study animation. I wanted to be a fancy boy. I was gonna do animation, and the only place where you could do animation was far outside of our town. It's in a completely different like county. It's you
have to live there.
Yeah, it's in a town called Eksjö, and I had to live in this fucking weird dorm, and I was such an antisocial fucking idiot when I was like, I think I was 16 at the time. I was such an antisocial fucking weirdo that I couldn't deal with that. So I just lived in the dorm, and here are the things I did while I was there, because I was only there for like two or 3 months. What was it? I made Marcus the Sheep 2 while I was there.
Yeah.
I made the Ice Bucket Challenge animation, and I skipped school a million days. And there was literally days in that dorm where I was so like fucking burnt out. I skipped school, and they literally were like banging on the door. Fun stuff. Man.
Also, I think a big thing is the fact that you had no one to really get along with there.
Yeah, because it makes me sad.
It's so fucking funny because they were weebs.
It makes me so fucking... Okay.
And you weren't a weeb!
Let me fucking rant! Okay, so I only got into fucking anime in 2017 when I was fucking 19, and I would have if I had gotten into this in my early teens, I would have flourished as a human. My life would have been better.
Yeah.
But no, I just watched my stupid fucking Western cartoons. I watched fucking Gravity Falls and fucking Willy Bingus and this funny little boy. And I know and they were all weebs, and I should have joined them.
There was one brony.
Yeah, there was one brony. Hey, shout out to you if you're still there. But if you're still there, he's still in the school.
He's still in the school.
Yeah, but
I also had one brony in my thing.
Oh yeah, of course. There was always one back in those days. There was always one.
Yeah, one that was like more into it than you were.
Yeah.
Like because this was around the time where I was just kind of like not super into it.
Yeah.
At least not like I wouldn't show it.
Yes, exactly. As much. So let me describe some of my daily life at that school. So here it is. I was deeply disappointed by the fact that so little of it was actually animation. Very little. Like only like 1 out of like fucking like 5 things was like actually animation, and I thought it was gonna be like a full course type thing, and I was very disappointed. So let's see. That was one of the things that made me mad. The other thing was like, I don't know, I was just so bad at socializing at 16. I was just so bad because that was right at around the time when I had delved fully into online friend, and I had nothing, and I wasn't conscious enough to actually be like, oh yeah, I gotta.
And also a hormone-strucken teenager.
Yeah.
Who's just like all this emotional little wreck.
And that was actually right around the time when Five Nights at Freddy's came out. Fun fact.
Wow.
Right around the time I was there. Here are some random memories from being there. One, I remember when I was in my dark dorm room, it was late at night, and I was watching PT playthroughs, because that had just come out. It was fucking epic. But I just subsisted on pan pizza and bullshit, because, I don't know, I was an idiot. What wasn't I went across town to be like, what stores exist here? There was a shitty PC store, and the only vaguely cool thing they had was Fallout 1 for the PC. But basically, this fucking sucked. So I left high school. I was like, this is bullshit. Bye-bye, senor. Then I was like, what do I do now? So we found that I could get an internship at a store. I couldn't work there yet because I wasn't 18 yet. Or whatever. It's something about that. But so I got an internship at this store called Willis. It's it's very close to where Kumba lives.
Again, thanks for doxing.
Yeah, of course. yeah, listen. They don't know which one. There's 8 of them in town. Okay, so okay.
But yeah, no, and I just remember like how on my way home I would just like sometimes I would just stop by and be like, "Hey, is love around here?"
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was done in high school.
Yeah. And
for the day, going home and be like, I'm gonna go bother love.
Of course. And at some point, I was like, oh, this really fucking sucks.
At some point, I was like, wow, he's not here very often.
What happened was, at some point, I literally just stopped going. For literally, how long did I keep this charade up? Almost 5 fucking months I kept this charade up where I would leave the house and I wouldn't go to work. I would just go to like the town or some shit.
Jesus Christ.
I kept this up for almost 5 months. And they never called back. They were just like, oh, well, I guess he's gone. And
you're like a professional, just like
scumbag
dodger.
Yeah, exactly. But it was amazing.
Like if we had a draft, you dodged it so fucking well.
The amount of anxiety. Why did I do that? It was literally like the worst idea ever. But it was such a long time, and that was actually to be fair, that time generated a lot of stories because for one, I was on the bus a lot and was out a lot, and so I met a bus driver who was a funny Indian man. He was like, "Oh, you must play basketball," and I told him. Oh
yeah, there's the thing where you're just like, "You're so tall, you better play basketball."
Yeah, and a lot of weird shit like that. But then finally, like in May, I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this, and so we found a job, internship at a place called Funkabator where I did art, and everything was good.
And that was a place where you did kids' books.
Exactly, and we got paid well, and we only had to go in very...
And a place where I would... And this goes into my fucking thing. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if I talk about this, but the way I got into doing kids' books with love was... This was around the time where I was in art school. Yeah. In college art school thing. And... as I've said before, I was getting real fucking sick and tired of how pretentious it was and how much of a grumpy old cunt the art teacher was and how he was an art snob. Yeah. And so I got sick and tired of that shit. And I was like, hey, Love's got a pretty good gig making kids books at this thing. I got a portfolio. I could send it to them and be like, hey, can I do that too? And then I was like, yeah, no, I actually did that before I dropped out. Yeah. And they were like, basically they were like, yeah, no, you're good, but you're gonna have to drop out. No problem, I'll do that tomorrow. I did that the next day.
It was so weird in how casual and fast it went, because you were
honestly, I didn't even properly, because there's like this work, agency thing that you had to sign up with to get jobs. Yeah. I wasn't. Yeah. Before I got my interview with them. Yeah. So I got my interview and they were like, yeah, we'd like to have you, but you're gonna have to drop out of school and sign up with the work agency. Yeah. I was like, no problem.
It was so weird because it was literally like, I swear it felt like this. It felt like one day you were like, I want to do that, and then the next Monday you're in there, it's like, hey, what's up? I'm in a job. It's like, what the fuck? So, and then we were in that job, and it was cushy as fuck, and we were ungrateful fucking idiots in our early 20s who didn't know how good we fucking had it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, this episode is very angry, but
honestly, I don't think we could have helped the fact that we got fired because I think it was like a budget thing.
Yeah, it was a budget thing, but I really just wish I would have had somebody fucking shake me up and go, you need to realize just how good you have it and save the fucking...
If anything, just like try, just prove that
prove
you're worth keeping around.
Because I was such a fucking... Kumbo was slightly more, what's it called? He worked harder and he did better. I do think it's partially because you came in 2 years after I did.
I'm also a workaholic.
Yeah.
I just have this whole fucking... I guess I just have it in my bones to be like, no, I'm gonna fucking try.
Well, here's the thing also. I had been working at that place for 3 years at
that too, so you're drained as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, once again, I've said this before. If by any miraculous chance anyone at that job hears this, I'm sorry. I'm a fucking idiot. Thank you.
Yeah, same. I hope I did good.
Yeah.
But I know I could have done better.
Yeah.
But also, I just love how... Okay, I want to tell my last day at art school there.
Oh, yeah.
So this was right after a time where we were going to do like... we had to do like self-portraits. Because we had to learn how to use oil painting.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always went with the idea of like... Oh, this is learning how to use a tool. Can't I just draw whatever the fuck I want? No. You have to do self-portrait. Yeah. And that was like the thing where I was just like, I'm fucking fuming.
Yeah.
Because not only do you make me pay for this fucking paint, I don't get to choose what I get to do with it.
All the art supply.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, you fucking cunts. So, I had this art supply that I bought, and I was just like, I just turned to the person who was had their like whole like desk set up next to me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, do you want my paint? And they were like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't have to pay money for a bunch of paint then. But why? I'm quitting. You are? Yeah. I'm sick of this. It's just like... So it's like, yeah, no, just be like, hey, I'm not gonna use this. Go ahead, have it.
Yeah.
And I just love how, like, the art teacher obviously wanted to talk to me about this. Like, somehow changed my mind. But I was so fucking, like, just determined on the fact that, no, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, oh, do you really think this is a good idea to go get a job as an illustrator? You know, actually started as an internship.
Yeah.
But still, I was just like, yeah, no, definitely better than being here. Like, I'd lose less money.
Yeah.
If I take that internship.
Definitely.
And in fact, I made more money there.
Undoubtedly.
Because I had to spend a lot of money on that fucking art school thing. You know, the only reason I was able to pay a month's thing was through a commission I did for a band.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, no, I was just like, no, 100%. Everything is pointing towards, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
And it was. Absolutely.
For reference, everybody, that is the school I now go to.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, I've fallen down in life, as you can tell. So, you know, but we're doing Poverty Pals, it's all good.
Hey, you know what? Whether or not, like, here's what I see it.
Yeah.
I'm honestly way more happier with where I'm at than I've been for a long time. Because I get to do whatever I want. It's like, yeah, sure, I'm not making a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I'm sticking to my own fucking integrity.
Yeah.
Just kind of like trying my own thing. I'm doing the punk rock way.
Yeah.
I'm doing my own thing, and like, because they said I can do anything. Because they started out real poor, like me.
I just realized how weird the last day was when I was at Funkabator. The last day was so weird because it was like nobody was in the office. I was just working away on my shit. And I believe, for the last like week or so, I was just like, please, can I buy the computer? I need this computer.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the computer we recorded a bunch of the old Chilling Skeletons gaming things on, and it was so good.
It was a gaming computer,
dude. An amazing processor. Fine, crazy. And I wanted to buy it, but they were like, no, you can't buy it. And so, on the last day, I've made this a tradition, and I've done it for every job now, where The last song I always listen to at any job is "Take This Job and Shove It" by Dead Kennedy. I always put that song on before I leave any job. I did it with the newspaper shit. I did it with this one, and I left. I went to the liquor store. I bought Big Jack Daniels. Then I went home. And I recorded the final episode of Fotcan. That was one of the things that happened on that day. So it was a very final moment. And then I was unemployed for several months, and it was horrifying.
Yeah, same.
I kind of dig it in some ways.
Well, I'm self-employed now.
Yeah.
In a way, trying to be.
Yeah.
Through commissions and selling my comic on Gumroad.
Yeah.
Which is, well, honestly, I am actually, I just started doing commissions, and I am gonna make some. Yeah. At least 2,000 counts or something. That's enough for, a six-pack and some beans.
Yeah, exactly. Six-pack.
That's what my brother said at some point. When I was talking about going self-independent as an artist, just like, yeah, as long as you have money for a six-pack and some fucking, some...
bean.
No, like a fucking pan pizza or something. It's like, you're living the life.
The man's got a point on.
Yeah, no,
seriously. But one day we wish to make Poverty Palz our thing, and...
Yeah, something that generates money.
Beautiful. It'd be a beautiful thing, and I gotta
say... You just gotta get enough subscribers to, justify the fact of having a Patreon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I am very impressed by just... We are getting consistent viewership. I mean, people are...
I mean, this is like the first year of doing this.
Yeah.
And I think we're productive as shit. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a matter of time.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So share this shit around, you beautiful people.
You fiend.
Join the fiend club.
Holy fuck.
It's misfits.
Cool. I need to tell you a story. I just remembered this, and I don't know how I just remembered this from my childhood. This is a fucking insane story, and I don't know why I've never told it to you or anyone.
Really?
Okay. So, one time, me and my family, I think we were in some weird oceany place in Sweden, the place with the coast, all the water, bullshit,
archipelago,
cliffs. Yeah, there were cliffs and there was water. That was the main thing.
Oh.
And so
was it west or east coast?
I'm not sure, but I was a small boy. I was a little boy, and
if it's east, then it takes place in the same place. Mechanic. Funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Stockholm archipelago.
Yeah. And so there were cliffs there, and there was a big ocean, and it was pretty scenic place. You look out, there's a big ocean.
Yeah.
And I remember I was really young, and for some reason I was a smart little boy. I started to walk out onto one of the cliffs, and I was getting dangerously. I don't know why, but I decided I want to step down onto a ledge that was slightly lower on the cliff. And it was fucking treacherous. I don't know why I did it, but I stepped down. And suddenly, my family sees me. They start looking over. My papa, he look at me. He go, "What the fuck?" And he start to run over. But I slip and I fall down and I get eaten by a fucking shark.
Oh my god!
Literally none of that happened.
Did you just make all that up?
Maybe.
Well, that brought me into another thing that I can talk about. Okay, so back in the olden Sweden days.
Yeah, the Sweden days, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Ättestupa?
I truly and honestly have not.
Basically, what this is. So back in the day, you'd always, in the Swedish family, I think 1800s, something around that time, you'd had the oldest in the family, you'd had them in your home.
Oh.
And once they get too fucking old to do anything, there's these cliffs. Literally what they do is they take the old and they shuck him off the cliff.
Wow.
That was a thing in Sweden.
That's amazing because there's this variation on the Swedish Happy Birthday song where it's literally about that.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah.
I really think there's this variation on the Swedish Happy Birthday thing or whatever, and towards the end there has this really brilliant wordplay, but it doesn't work in English.
Yeah.
But basically the point is that the Swedish word for shoot and to push are basically the same.
Yeah.
And so it's like, was it, oh, happy birthday, then we're gonna shoot them, and then we're gonna shoot them, and then we'll shoot them off a cliff. I don't know. This doesn't work literally at all. Listen,
as I've said before, the Swedes have dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
A lot of things about death.
It's for the Swedish fans only.
No, it's like, I talk about the Swedish stuff because I think Americans find it weird and funny.
They do. Let me tell you all about fucking Sweden, okay? Fucking the word smorgasbord, your stupid ass word, that word is from Swedish.
Yeah, it's smörgåsbord.
Yeah, and it's this stupid fucking thing that like 90-year-old dying people have, where they like, why does every single fucking party arranged by somebody who's older than 50 have to have this smorgasbord thing? And it has disgusting cold sandwiches. I'm like, why?
Oh my god, here's something we have in Sweden. I don't know if they have in America. Sandwich cake.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, it's basically just like this cake, but it's like a sandwich. And
cold sandwich cake.
Yeah, and what's in it is like shrimp and egg and like mayo.
Berries and weird. It's so weird.
I've never been into it, but everyone I know is for some reason into it.
I don't know. Sweden is weird, guys.
We also have what else do we have? There's one thing that we have that I actually like.
What?
You don't like it. But boiled eggs and caviar.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Well, not caviar, smoked roe, but
oh yeah,
yeah. Put it on a little knäckebröd and a little sandwich.
We got what do Sweden got? We got the weed. We got the taxes.
We don't got the weed.
Oh yeah, we don't.
And I guess we have taxes, but we don't really. It's like everything is just kind of like. I don't really know how Swedish tax works. I just know that we don't have a thing every year where we have to go and pull out a bunch of shit.
That's something I love about this. I was so anxiety driven, and when I was growing up, like, oh, I'm gonna have to do the paying taxes thing, but no, they just pull it out of your bank account before you get your paycheck. I love that. I think
it's actually like through like purchasing stuff. Like a little bit goes into the tax or something like that.
I don't think we have much.
I don't know how it works, so don't listen to me.
Well, like I know it's pulled from your paycheck before that, but we might have some sort of value-added tax too. I'm not sure.
We have something, but I know it's not as complicated as it is in America. That's for sure.
Yeah. He's making a funny reference, dude. What? Safe European home.
Yeah, I know.
Funny meme.
But yes, we don't have the weed.
Yeah,
well, we do.
That's
but
bullshit.
Illegal.
That makes me sad.
I guess you'd have to go to Amsterdam, but every time I hear someone saying like, "Oh, we went to Amsterdam to get weed," it's like their weed is way stronger than any fucking weed.
It's true. Even Seth Rogen would scream about that. Dude, I gotta say, hey, let's continue the continuing story of love lives in a weird ass neighborhood.
Oh yeah, you live in the ghetto of our town, basically.
And it's funny because I personally never noticed it, but I keep hearing about people getting killed over there. And yesterday, I was at a bus stop. I was trying to go home or something, and it was sort of like, it was near the center of this area. It's sort of an area. It's a little, whatever. And I just looked at the bus stop, and there was a very clear, it was definitely a gunshot hole in the middle of the thing. It was and it was just...
to explain further, we have this, like, at the bus stops, we have this thing that's kind of like
a glass thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little cottage thing, but it's like made out of glass.
Yeah,
you know.
There was a bullet hole
through the glass.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it looked really cool because it was one of those things where like it because guns go so fast. It was like you can see the hole, but there's a few things.
Yeah. I also just remember like walking through, like at some point you and me were walking through there.
Yeah.
Like on our way to like a grocery store. And I was just looking around at just like the environment and like architecture, and I was like, it feels like I'm in Cyprus.
yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
That was some fun shit. Okay.
Yeah.
This episode has been very introspective.
No, I mean,
I like it a lot.
It's fine.
It's great. Kumble, I need you to do something for me.
What?
Reach out your hand and let your story begin. What? Oh, your story.
We just have, okay, so for context, next to the microphone we have Little Witch Academia.
Volume 1.
Yeah, manga. And I want to say I fucking love this anime so much. It's
beautiful.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love the style.
Yeah.
And I love the message of not giving up and, you know, fucking going for your dreams. Hell yeah.
It's fantastic.
And on the other side of I have Junji Ito's Spirals.
Yeah.
And it's specifically the page where it's...
more colloquially known as Uzumaki.
Yeah. Where
oh yeah, the guy twists himself.
Yeah, in a wooden barrel into... He morphs his body into a spiral like a snail in a bucket.
It's great.
It's fucking disturbing.
I think it's time for music time, Kumbel.
Oh, alright.
It's time for fucking music time.
Oh.
But, I'm gonna transition into that by saying a fun fact I didn't know about. So in the early 80s when they were doing the whole, heavy metal satanic thing?
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, I didn't know this, but apparently there was official legislation pushed in government that was going to ban musicians from putting reversed vocals on their albums. That was in Congress. It presumably didn't get passed because that would not be a good thing. But around the time that happened, Frank Zappa responded to that by making a song called Ya Hojna, which the entire thing, all of the vocals are reversed. And so yeah, that's a funny little meme. Let's do music time.
I kind of want to talk more about that whole thing.
Yeah, let's talk about Satanic Panic.
No, just how American government versus heavy metal.
Oh yeah.
That's an interesting thing.
It is.
Because they were really pushing hard on the fact that it was satanic and shit.
Yeah.
And it's I've never been super into glam metal at all. Yeah. But I'll always have respect for Dee Snider for really defending it.
Yeah.
In court in Washington.
Yes.
Kudos to that.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's just oh my god, they were really fucking scared of it. And I find it so funny.
It's amazing when you go back and listen to some of that stuff in the PMRC and that shit, how just blatant these people were, how anti-free speech they were. There was this old man in the fucking hearing who was well, if I could constitutionally do away with it, I would. It's okay, sir, let's calm the fuck down here.
Dude, it's I remember this reminds me of when the Sex Pistols first arrived.
Oh yeah.
It's this famous thing where it's this one old fuck who's all I believe that these bands would be better off dead.
Oh my god.
Basically, yeah. Something like that.
Oh my
and how they would get banned in villages and stuff like that because they're spreading the word of anarchy and against the queen.
God damn.
I can't have my kids listening to this.
Yeah.
And also there's the famous Bill Grundy interview.
Oh yeah.
Where for the first time ever on live TV in I don't know if just the UK or if the whole world, someone swore on live TV.
Oh yeah.
And it was the Sex Pistols, of course.
Oh man.
When Steve Jones called Bill Grundy a fucking rotter.
Oh my god.
You dirty old bastard.
That's amazing.
And there's this great story. It's The Filth and the Fury.
Yeah.
Was the headlines in the newspaper.
Yeah.
And how a fucking trucker apparently kicked their TV in when he heard that shit.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, no, it's it's so fucking wild. How back in the day, how hard they went on counter culture music.
Yeah. They were angry.
Yeah, no.
You mad? Okay, let's...
Remember how God Save the Queen was supposed to be top of the charts, but for some reason it was just
oh yeah, there
blank.
Was nothing. Yeah.
Because they didn't want to fucking show it. They banned it everywhere.
Yeah.
Because they called the Queen not a human being.
Yeah.
And a fascist regime.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. So
I love that part of music history.
It's very fun.
And honestly, how satanic were a lot of the metal back in the day? Not very.
Yeah, not very at all.
The most satanic, I would say, metal back in the day would be Venom.
Yeah,
Venom,
yeah.
Other than that, most of them was just kind of about partying,
Yeah, it's true. You know what? That leads us into the fucking music recommendation segment because I want to talk about a thing.
Yeah.
Here's a controversial opinion. Everyone in the audience will literally kick in their TVs like that guy from the Sex Pistols thing when they see this. Even though they're not watching Party Pals on their TV. So, okay.
Kick in the computer screen.
Yeah, okay. Here it is, okay? I think, in regards to Iron Maiden, I think that their early 2000s albums are miles ahead of their fucking 80s shit. Their 80s shit, it's it's okay and all. It's pretty good. Well, okay, it's good. It's good, but I feel like their 80s shit didn't live up to their full potential. Because Iron Maiden, to me, they felt like they were always destined to be this grand, fucking insane, like, really big songs.
Oh, yeah.
And on albums like Brave New World and Dance of Death specifically, that album
Passchendaele is my favorite Iron Maiden song.
Yeah,
it's so fucking good.
It's fucking Eben.
Yeah.
I do think Dance of Death is like it's one of the best metal albums ever in my opinion.
It just has this horrible cover.
Yeah, the cover for Dance of Death, y'all should fucking look it up right now.
If you haven't seen it already somehow.
Yeah, so
it's disgusting 3D art.
The story behind the Dance of Death cover is that like the guy who was doing the 3D rendering, he did like the prototype. I think he might have sent the prototype and then he was completing it. But then they used the prototype. I don't know how the decision came to be, but then they never... It's weird, they sort of disowned the album, it's really sad.
Yeah, something similar happened with Number of the Beast, where it was originally like... you can see like in the reissue of that album, like the clouds are darker and grayer, while in the original they're really blue.
Yeah.
Like they were not meant to be so blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's another weird thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, here's another thing about Iron Maiden. Do you know they apparently just really hate punk rock?
Damn, I didn't know that.
Nah, I just remember in this interview with Bruce Dickinson, where they were talking about the fact that they were kind of sort of around the same time as punk was happening in England.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, were you ever inspired by the Sex Pistols? And he was just like, no, it's garbage. It sucks. And I was just like, okay.
Damn.
I mean, every other metal musician kind of recognizes Sex Pistols as something good, but for some reason they're snobs about it.
Yeah. I don't know, that seems very weird. It feels like their music would be somewhat.
Yeah.
All stuff feels a little, punky.
A little snobbish.
Yeah. Whatever.
But I guess I can understand why some people might not like that music.
Yeah. What?
Because it wasn't trying to be amazing.
Yeah.
It was more so trying to, express some fucking anger and frustration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's Kumo, what have you been listening to? What's an album epic?
Okay, I actually got one. It's another new release. It's an album called it's kind of like the first release of this new hardcore punk band from California called Rolex. And it has like, when you listen to it, you're kind of like, oh, I can hear Germs. I can hear like some of the early like Black Flag stuff in this. It's just like, a bit of Bad Brains too. So yeah, if you like some classic hardcore punk, then check out Rolex.
Check it.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't have any big recommendation other than that, honestly.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Here we go. Here's my epic recommendation. Oh, okay. I'm gonna recommend "Sunken Condos" by Donald Fagen, his 2012 epic album. It's a good album because the thing I always liked about Donald Fagen, funny Steely Dan man, the thing I always liked about his shit is how fucking introspective it is, and how Sunken Condos, the first song in that album, the song is just an autobiographical thing about how he went to a party and he was called a burnt out hippie clown, and he was just depressed. It's a brilliant album. It's very jazzy. It has a lot of cool instrumentation. It feels like he hasn't lost any of it across the years. Everyone listen to fucking Sunken Condos. It's only 45 minutes long, you fuck.
Hey, I know what I want to recommend. Yeah. Listen to Love's new album, Melancholic.
Oh, why have I not talked? Oh yeah, I made a new album in like 2 weeks. It's an ambient album. It's sort of like Brian Eno, but not Brian Eno. Listen to that.
It's chill. I haven't listened to the full thing yet, but I listened to some of it. It's pretty chill. Yeah,
it's pretty ambient. Listen, put it on the background while you fuck your dad.
Exactly, specifically that.
It's in the category of penis music.
Yeah, new genre.
Yeah, of course. Oh. Okay.
Wait, I want to recommend one more thing. Okay, so I might have talked about them before. Probably recommend them loosely, but I actually really, really want to recommend, because they're really underrated, Youth Brigade, Sync with California. A fucking amazing hardcore punk album from when that first happened in the 80s. Yeah. But for some reason they're super underrated. You know? Not a lot of people know about them. Well, kind of. They're just like that one underrated band. But I do admire them very much because they push hard on the whole like do-it-yourself thing. And they were really like... there's this great documentary about them called Let Them Know. And he just talks about like the history of them and their own independent record label, Better Youth Organization Records, BYO. And yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to recommend that album because it's fucking amazing. It's got great songs like Saintwood, California, What Are We Gonna Do About the Men in Blue, and let's see, What Will the Revolution Change? Did You Wanna Die? A lot of the songs that were kind of inspired by Sham 69 and the oi punk thing. It's like LA hardcore mixed with oi punk in a way. And as someone from 7 Seconds described, every song feels like an anthem. It's like that makes you go, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good stuff like that.
It's pretty cool.
And there's this great line from Mark Stern, or was it Sean Stern? One of them from Youth Brigade. They're all three brothers, by the way, in it. From the movie Another State of Mind, which I also mentioned before, which basically just says like, you gotta be an individual, you gotta get up your ass and fucking do something.
Yeah.
And they certainly fucking did. When you get to learn about them, how just self-independent they were.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is like one of the most inspirational punk bands to me is Youth Brigade. I recommend learning about them because they're fucking interesting.
That's pretty cool.
They make great music and underrated. That's my last thing.
That's the thing.
Now I have said that on Poverty Pals. Great.
You said it. Now we can end the podcast forever.
Yes. Goodbye.
Diabetic Joe is in a Colombian prison. You need to help him get out. Kickstart the follow the link on the page, please. He needs to get out.
No, he doesn't. Stay there. He should stay there.
Oh.